Homeworks by Precept consultant representing BJU Press Homeschool materials, and we have been on this journey of homeschooling for 10 plus years, and the result is beautiful in the lives of my children as far as their love of learning and the excellence of learning. So today I just thought I would really quickly take a little bit of time to share what I've observed in our 6 children over these 10 plus years in regards to reading. I have kind of broken it down into 3 types of reading learners. So, see if you've got one of these. We've got the struggling reader, the lightning reader, and the lazy reader. They're all precious and unique, and they each present their own challenges. So in this little video, I'm just going to quickly flesh out those 3 types of readers, and at the end of this, I'm going to share a few fast do's and don'ts I've learned with reading. Teaching a child to read has to be one of the most beautiful parts of homeschooling. It is so incredible to see the light bulb go on. They understand, they are reading, and even though I do use the video lessons with the BJU Press Homeschool textbooks, which I love, I still spend a fair amount of time reading with them myself. That's just so beautiful. Nothing can replace mommy reading with her child. So let's quickly start with the struggling reader. So I have had a struggling reader. Maybe none of your children have struggled with reading. But the key starting point is identify the struggle. What are they struggling with? So my second to youngest son, I began to realize the words he was tripping over the most were what we call service words. So BJU Press Homeschool teaches a child to learn to read by word families, which is beautiful, and it just takes the pain out of reading. They can, like the English language can be, 80% of it can be categorized into word families that are decodable, like the ite family, the at family, the it family, like bit, hit, sit, and so on. But there are other words that aren't really decodable that have to be memorized. So this is what my son was getting hung up on, those words primarily, and also some other things, and I'll talk about that too. So what I did, we're struggling, we're trying to get through his reader, and he's getting hung up on all of these service words. So the idea came, and I was so thankful, to make a game. He loves the game of memory, and BJU Press Homeschool really encourages enjoyable learning, and I love that, and I try to even enhance that wherever I can. So we basically just took index cards and we wrote 2 of every word on the index cards. So I would have had 2 your, 2 woods, and then we made a whole bunch of these cards. They're very well used, and he and I would just sit down on the floor and spread them all out upside down, and then we would flip over 2 of them, wood and your. Oh, those don't match. Let's see if the next 2 match, and try and get matches and make pairs. So we're playing a game, but every time we flipped over a card, we would read what it said, and I didn't ask him to read them. I just wanted this to be fun, and I would say them out loud. Whenever we'd flip up a card, I would just say it to him, love or mother. And as the days went on, he would start to say the words with me, and our reading, it filtered into our reading. Oh, he just started to have so much less trouble tripping up with his service words. They say they're adding a new service word about every day, or sometimes maybe more. And now he was able to put more of his energy into decoding the words that are decodable, because he's not struggling with these service words. And another thing I've done to help with decoding words, we've got the vowel friends. We've got Miss Long, we've got Marker E, Mrs. and Mr. Short, and we took a piece of paper and I would write a word on it for him. You know, say the word time, and then ask him, okay, which of these vowel friends are you going to put over this word time? So I would help him then, as he needed it. We could put Miss Long over the I, and Marker E, her dog, over the E, and that can just help make it tangible for him, whatever we can do to help make this reading tangible. And so those are some things that have helped with my struggling reader. And I'm going to touch on something with Mr. Lazy Reader that will help with your struggling reader too. So hang tight. Let's talk about Mr. Lightning Reader. I love my Mr. Lightning Reader. It is so easy. He zips through his readers. He wants to read other books. Read. It's effortless for him. He reads at grade level. He's reading probably above grade reading level. But one thing that I have noticed, and this has come also through being a consultant and the privilege of talking with other parents over these years, and I've heard how they have a child that is an excellent reader. And in this parent share with me discussing their excellent reader, they're talking about their struggles to comprehend another subject. They're trying to read their textbook and they're reading really well, really proficiently, but it just seems like their child is not getting or comprehending or understanding this other subject. It's totally unrelated to reading, right? But we use reading in every other subject. That's why BJU Press Homeschool, I found, is so big on reading. It has it as a full subject through 6th grade, and then literature beyond that, because they need to learn to dissect that story, to pull it apart, understand why someone felt this way, why someone said this. And it was a good reminder to me, because the temptation has been, Mr. Lightning Reader does not need to dig deeper, right? I mean, just let him read and be done with it. We don't need to watch his reading lesson. Maybe not do the reading work text, but to understand that you're not just wanting a child that can read. You don't want them just to read. You want them to read to learn. So with my Mr. Lightning Reader, I need to encourage him to dig deeper, to have him watch that lesson, which is so easy for him. But it's amazing what those distance learning teachers are pulling out of these stories and helping them, so with their science, their heritage, whatever, they're going to be able to do so much better. All right, my lazy reader, let's talk about him. He was that wonderful guy, that easy baby that would sit for like an hour and play with one toy. And I love that about him. On the flip side, he's not motivated. He's not motivated. So when he's reading, or in other areas of school too, he can just be very laid back and take a forever to get through something. So with that child, what do I do? How do I motivate them? Because that's our problem. It's not that he can't do it, right? So prizes, surprise prizes. And this is huge. And it will motivate your child. I think the element of surprise with a prize can be very key. If they don't know what the prizes are, have a dollar store grab bag of prizes. They can close their eyes and pull one out. That can be so fun for them, or things you know they're into, whether it is marbles or stickers or gum. Have prizes that they can say, you'll set a timer. You know, if we can read your story today in 30 minutes or whatever, then you can pick a prize, and they'll do it. They will do it. And that can help your struggling reader too. Once we get through this story, sweetheart, you can pick a prize because you've worked so hard. So that is a quick rundown of tips with the struggling, lightning, and lazy readers that I have had as a mom. Now some quick do's and don'ts. Some quick do's and don'ts that I would encourage is not to have them try to sound out every word. If they don't know a word, especially early on in those early months of reading, just go ahead and give it to them. Let them point to it, tell them what it is. As time goes on, especially with short vowel words, I'll encourage them then, sweetheart, you know all the sounds in this word, let's try and sound it out. So don't make them decode every word. Go ahead and give it to them when they ask for it, especially if they're struggling. Another thing would be to, on top of not having them sound out every word, don't correct every mispronounced word. So, for instance, if they read a sentence, it might say, whatever, we've got a reader here. Just then Benny spotted Dozer. They might say, just them Bunny spotted Dozer on the corner instead of in. In a sentence, I will choose to just correct one word. Otherwise, it's going to overwhelm them. And as we go through their reading, as they read lots of sentences, you will have plenty of opportunities to correct that other word again. So our goal is to keep it feeling doable and enjoyable for them. So don't correct every word that they misread to you. That's okay. And then I guess the prizes. That is huge. Having the prizes and having them read. Do have them read every day. I know it's hard. It is hard, but nothing can replace them just reading, just practicing reading. If you can't do it, Mom, then another sibling, maybe they could read to a toddler to help while you make supper, or even to your dog or to a favorite stuffed animal, and just keep it positive. We want this to be enjoyable for them. Let them know how excited you are and how wonderful you think they did. And enjoy your reading this year. Thank you.